So I recently moved into my new place and my office went from looking like this to this really quickly. And it looks terrible. There's cables everywhere. It's extremely disorganized. So I took everything apart and redid the cable management. I decided to make a video to show you guys how I did it. And if you're curious about the products I used, I'll have links to them below the video. So let's get started. Now, because there's only one cable outlet in this room, I initially set up our internet on this side, which forced me to run an Ethernet cable all the way over to the other side to plug into my computer and my girlfriend's computer. So the first step was to rework this. I decided that instead of plugging in the router and modem over here, I would just run the coax cable to the other side of the room and then hook everything up over there. It was pretty simple, but I did need to find a longer cable to make this work. I started off unplugging everything from the wall. I moved my desk away from the wall to give myself plenty of working space. I picked up this cable raceway from Amazon for about $30. It's about 13 feet long and it comes in 4 sections. There's double-sided tape on the back, so you can pretty much just stick this right to the wall. And it seems to be pretty sticky stuff. Once it's on there, it doesn't really want to come off. They also come with different connectors, so if you need to join them at a corner, you can do that. So basically what I did was I just plugged the cable into the wall and then ran it through each of these 4 sections. And then I started getting everything lined up the way I wanted it. And I used painter's tape to hold everything to the wall. So if you don't have anybody around to help you with this, this is definitely the way to do it. Now I did run into an issue with the last piece. It was a little bit too long, but the rest of it was looking pretty good. And because I hadn't figured out what I was going to do with this extra cable here, I decided to cut a small bit off that last section and then just place it right here, and this would help cover up some of that extra cable. So I marked where I needed to cut, went downstairs, grabbed the jigsaw, and started cutting in my kitchen. When you don't have a garage, you gotta make do with what you got. And I was really surprised because I actually got a really clean cut on this. So I took it back upstairs, placed it on the wall, and put some painter's tape on it to hold it in place. Now with this extra cable, I just slid it under the door frame, and I did the same thing on the other side, and it actually turned out pretty good. So when you close the door, it just kind of hides under there. So now it's time to go ahead and put that last section on the end. So I went ahead and fed the cable through. And while it doesn't go all the way to the end, I do plan on putting a shelf or some other piece of furniture here to help hide things. And now it was time to actually place these onto the wall. So I went back over, peeled off the double-sided tape, and just stuck each one onto the wall. And I didn't use any of the connecting pieces because I wanted this to look very smooth. I didn't really want it to be noticeable at all. I wanted it to blend in with the baseboard and just kind of look natural. I put that last little piece up there and then just stuffed the rest of the cable into the closet. And this is how it all turned out. I think it looks great. It's not perfect, but it does the job and it looks a lot cleaner. After I finished routing the coax cable, it was time to clean up the rest of this corner. So I just started tidying up each of the Ethernet cables. I also replaced this with a big surge protector. That way we'd have a lot more flexibility in terms of plugging things in. Once the internet was hooked up, all that was left was the cable management at my desk itself. And to help clean things up, I picked up these cable trays from Amazon. They come with screws and you just drill into the bottom of your desk. If I were to redo this, I'd probably get some with covers. That way, if you do look under the desk, you can't actually see the cables. But I do still like these a lot. They're perfect for what I need them for, and you can stuff a lot of cables up in there. So the first thing I did was I took another surge protector and I put some command strips on the bottom of them. And then I just stuck it to the bottom of my desk. That way I'd have access to power and I wouldn't have to run so many cables to outlets. Then I just cleaned up some of the cables behind my monitors. After that, it was just a matter of plugging things in and stuffing the rest of the cables away. This took a bit longer than I expected, but I did have some zip ties and other cable ties to help clean things up. There came a point where there was only so much more I could do with my desk away from the wall, so I decided to put it in position and finish up the rest of the cables. And this is how it all looked at the end. Like I said, it's not perfect, but it's perfect for me. It looks a lot better and it's cleaned up the room quite a bit. I'll probably make some adjustments here and there over time, but I'm happy with how it turned out. But again, I'll have links to everything I used down in the description below. So if you're looking to clean up your own setup, hopefully this video will help you in some way. And if you have any questions about anything I used or just about my setup in general, feel free to leave a comment down below and I will do my best to get back to you. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.